How is your brother?
Asleep since I returned from the Dominion. Taya says he should be back on his feet soon enough. For a while, at least. She discovered something on his chest. A swelling, circled in stone.
The curse. For every mountain we climb, another rises up to greet us, doesn't it?
It's never ending.
Сейчас Мид приедет на своем корабле к последнему кристаллу, надо же на чем-то ехать.
Even the sky seems to have grown tired of it all.
Прах старого мира. Сила света. Клайв присвоил часть сущности айкона Бахамута. При настройке с Бахамут меняется стихия магических заклинаний и открывается доступ к новым способностям айкона. Например, импульс. Создание сфер света, который обездвиживает целью и непрерывно наносит ей урон. Я, наверное, себе взял. Вместо кого только. А очков-то нет. А, ну хотя это можно слить. Ну как-то подороже будет. Может, нет. Так, 1000 свободно осталось. Ну, там разберемся. Соточка стоит. Да, поговорите с Сота. Мои трофеи. Странно, я вроде никаких квесты не пропускаю. Всего 2 трофея из целой кучи. Где остальные?
It will take time to come to terms with everything that happened in the Dominion. But time is the one thing we always seem to lack.
Вот это писем. Вот такой дерьма. Поговаривают, что принц, находясь в гневном припадке, не оставил от Винсайда камня на камне. Вы-то живы? Успели выбраться из города до того, как он рухнул? Уверен, что успели, но ты же все же отправь к нам, к столу. Уйми тревоги Элоизы. Отчет сокрушителей. Наши братья и сестры сообщают об одном и том же. Эти проклятые небеса бросили тень не только на землю, но и на душу людей, и без того опечаленных падением Доминиона и разрушением последнего исходного кристалла на шторме. Пока мир все еще не рухнул, но с каждым новым разливом все больше жителей его лишаются рассудка. Положение крайне тяжелое. На новолуние поступят новые сообщения. До тех пор продолжай свой дозор. Да будет сокрушено проклятие кристаллов. Поклон талых караванов. Перо сильнее. Откройте 10 писем на рабочем столе. Надеюсь, ваша компания благополучно добралась до Доминиона. Если по воле судьбы вновь попадешь на рынки и будешь искать помощи, алые караваны с радостью окажут тебе поддержку. Возможно, даже уступим тебе в цене. Возможно. Это я читал. Об вторник. Спасибо за то, что помог развеять дурные мысли Блэкторна. Беда в том, что он, похоже, вновь погрузился в них. Смотришь на него, и сразу видно, что нос повесил. Полагаю, не только тот кожаный доспех растревожил нашего кузнеца, и есть и иная напасть, не дающая покоя. Я понимаю, что дела у тебя хватает, но так как... Кстати говоря, если взять тут квест... Если тут квесты брать, я, получается, диалоги пропускаю там на месте. Мне вообще не трудно было сходить. Дурное предчувствие. Твой пес какой-то странный. Пусть ваша светлость заглянет в плату, как ей будет удобно. Последнее. Повеление Ота я проверил счета убежища и, возможно, наткнулся на нечто, потенциально требующего твоего внимания. Думаю, тебе стоит взглянуть, причем как можно скорее. Ты знаешь, где меня искать, Год? Вот и все набрали.
Blackthorn, do you have a moment?
Not really, no.
This won't take long. I just wanted to ask how you're getting on. August was worried about you, but you might still be doubting your craft, even after learning the trick of that cuirass. Is there something else weighing on your mind?
Все, теперь 2 часа покоя.
That bastard's like a dog with a bone. Still, he's got a keen eye, I'll give him that. He's just, well, Karen showed me something. Something I've never seen before.
And that was?
A sword. An odd-looking thing with a single-edged blade. The metal itself wasn't anything to write home about, but fuck me, the edge on it. You could slice a man clean in two with a weapon like that, and he'd be halfway home before he even realised he'd been cut.
So that's what's troubling you?
Nah, no. Not troubling me exactly. More distracting. Can't stop thinking, how do you get an edge that sharp? It's driving me mad.
And if you knew how to do it, we could arm the curse breakers with even better blades.
That's about the size of it, yeah.
I'll see what I can find out. Sharper swords are always welcome. And we can't have our master blacksmith being distracted.
You're a soft touch, you know that. But I can't say I'm not grateful for it. Good luck, eh?
Thank you.
Привет. У кузнеца явно проблемы с самооценкой. Что-нибудь увидит, что лучше сделано, чем у него. Сразу депрессия. Ой, я такое ничтожество. Боже, помогите. Я ничего не умею. Я такой жалкий.
Thanks for not leaving me in the Dominion. If you hadn't come back, I might still be stuck there. I told Nan...
I got your note. You think something's wrong with Torgal?
So you can read. Congratulations. But I didn't say I were wrong with him. I said something weren't right. He's not been eating me treats. He used to love cracking the bones from Molly's boiled brown, but now he won't so much as look at him. Didn't like him. Which is why I'm of a mind that his mind's on something else. You've not been working him too hard, have you?
No harder than usual. Is that it, boy? Do you need a rest?
What was it you said he was? A frost wolf?
That's what the lawsman seems to think.
Then maybe this all has something to do with whatever it is that's woken inside him.
I suppose things have been different since Rosalith. Perhaps Hippocrates knows something.
Instead of everything, you mean? Perhaps.
Ну да, мне тоже нравится. Нет, у него именно проблемы с самооценкой. Если бы он просто, типа, вот, сделал лучше, как бы мне сделать так же? Он же, о нет, я такое ничтожество. Это отвлекает меня от работы. Я вот кую, а говно какое-то выходит, ведь я такой ничтожный. Ох, вот так работа такая классная была, я такой ничтожный. И это именно низкая самооценка у него.
You're looking well, Karen.
What do you want? Out with it.
I want to know about the sword you showed Blackthorn. Single-edged and extremely sharp.
Running around after him again, are you?
I suppose I am, yes. But I need to help him find out how to work an edge like that. It's driving him to distraction.
Little wonder, I suppose. There's not many like that make it as far as the twins, and those that do go straight into private collections. Which made it nice and easy finding a buyer.
Can you tell me who bought it? Where is it now?
You think I tell people who my clients are? Suppose you're not likely to go nicking him off me, are you now? Fine. If you stop mooning at me like that. Lord Ignac's the man you want. Delmechian bloke. Collects weapons and the like. And he's got more money than sense, which is why he's one of my favourite clients. Reckon he'll still be at the inn in Dalamil, where I left him.
Thank you, Karen.
Oh. And he's a touch eccentric. If you take my meaning.
I appreciate the warning.
Так, я вообще зашел к ней мечи посмотреть, ну ладно.
Coin purse weighing you down.
Так, меч у меня есть. С лечилками.
You're rubbing me blind, you know.
Пока. Идеальный эликсир. Если герою нанесли смертельный урон, автоматически восстанавливает весь запас его здоровья, заполняет шкалу вспышки ярости на 60 секунд, увеличивая силу атаку на 10%, защиту на 30%. Да это же просто мега хрень. Прокси папит на максималках. Раньше у эликсира не было свойств автоподнимать. Такое было у автолайва. Но автолайва здесь нет.
Something's not right with him.
He isn't ill, is he?
I don't think so. But according to Lady Karen,
Завалюсь еще на стуле будет, вообще лол.
which is certainly a new development. She says he's hardly been touching his bones of late, and she believes it may have something to do with what happened at Rosalith Castle.
I rather think she might be right, though not about his appetite. All canids are instinctively inclined to crack open bones for the rich marrow that resides within, and I see no reason why a frost wolf should be any different. Accordingly, I suspect it is not a lack of appetite that afflicts Torgal, but a surfeit of it. If we assume that his newfound magics require additional nourishment to sustain, it may well be that the bones Lady Karen is accustomed to providing are no longer sufficient. Frost wolves, after all, habitually prey upon far larger animals, whose bones may yield altogether different nutrients. As to where one might find a suitable substitute, some antelopes that graze the meadows of eastern Rosaria have been known to grow to a size more than double that of their lesser cousins.
I don't recall ever seeing any that large.
And little wonder. The oldest and largest such creatures rarely leave the safety of the highlands for fear of predators. The last elder antelope sighting I recall hearing about took place near Cressida, and that was long before the village was abandoned.
Even so, it seems like a good place to start.
Good hunting, Clive.
Ну, один раз они его покормят. Вообще как-то странно. Он хочет жрать, поэтому не ест. Даже если ему этого недостаточно. И он как вампир, ему нужна определенная еда. Там поди охоту навалили. Надо проверить, сходить. Да, мугла новой охоты.
Otto, how fares the realm?
The realm? Oh, she's just fine. As long as you look past the fat storms out mother crystals and her skies are a roiling cesspit.
And Gav?
He's with your uncle in the Free Cities, helping Mid with her project. Sent an owl their way the moment the winds turned foul. Still waiting on a reply, though.
Do you have any good news?
Well, that depends on your definition of good.
All right, fine. What do you suggest we do?
Oh no, I'm just a messenger. I leave the scheming to those more suited to the task. Could be that Lady Vivian and Old Tomes have their own thoughts on the current state of things. Could be that they don't. It certainly can't hurt to ask.
I suppose not.
Clive, did you get my letter?
That's why I'm here.
Shh. Otto might be listening.
Is this better?
A little. Listen. I've some bad news. It turns out the hideaway may be slightly behind in its payment to certain lenders, and it may be my fault. But I swear to the goddess, I thought I had the numbers square. Sadly, that square turned out to be more of a circle. 0, you might say. I can straighten it out, I swear, but it's gonna take some time, and I'm gonna need help keeping it from Otto. Bit late for that, I'd say.
There you are! What a surprise!
So let me get this straight. You forget to pay our lenders what they're due, and instead of coming straight to me, you get Clive to come to you. And I hope he'll dig you out of the hole you've dug for yourself. Clive, the man in charge of the place you've been cheerfully trying to bankrupt. And you thought this was a cunning plan. Why? Well, who needs paying?
Oh, just Martha. And the dame. And, well, Lady Karen. But only 500 talents.
We owe 3 of our most trusted friends 5 million gil.
Each. 5 million each. They lent us the bulk of the money we used to rebuild the hideaway, you see, and, well, I must have made some sort of oversight.
Коррупция.
Those ledgers were my responsibility, and it was my decision to entrust them to you. This is my fault.
Do we have that much to hand? I can always ask my uncle.
No, we don't. And no, you won't. We've lightened Lord Rosfield's purse enough. After the king's ransom we had off him, he deserves better than to see our begging bowl. Besides, we'll need to learn to stand on our own if we're gonna make this work.
All right. But that doesn't mean you have to shoulder the burden yourself. Is there anything I can do to help?
There might be. How'd you fancy taking these to Martha and the dame?
Rocks.
Rocks, he says. Worth 1,000 talents apiece, these are. A little something Sid and I set aside for when times got lean. And I reckon 15 million in overdue debt probably qualifies. I just hope our associates' eyes are a bit more discerning than yours.
I'm sure there will be.
Should be me making the rounds, really. But you know how it is with this place. Orders to bark, arses to wipe, and all that.
I know. Which is why I don't mind going in your place.
Go. Do you know why I only gave Master Clive here 2 star rubies?
Because you'd rather Lady Karen killed me.
Because I'd rather Lady Karen killed you. Yes.
Well, I suppose this is goodbye then.
Don't worry. I'm sure Karen will understand.
Really? Do you think so?
No, I don't.
How are you doing?
Час расплаты.
I'm sorry to drag you into this, Master Clive. It's just I couldn't think who else to ask, and you're always so willing to help everyone. Anything catch your eye?
Он воспользовался моей добротой. Засранец.
Seen enough?
I wasn't expecting you back so soon.
Поговорите о последних событиях.
It's not true.
Это все выдумки, Клайв. Миру не может прийти конец, правда? Нам было тяжко и до того, как небо потемнело, а теперь... Даже не знаю, как справляться. Мы столько потеряли. Когда все закончится? Оно же закончится, Клайв.
Is everything
Конечно.
we've received and everything promised?
Все
You
когда-нибудь
earned this.
заканчивается.
All done?
Послушайте его очередную историю. Говорит о том, где можно найти бомбу. Опять с неизвестным местом. Царь-бомба, котел Самбрак. Так, я опять сделаю скриншоты. Чтобы не бегать каждый раз сюда. Так, 10 дубинок. Тот был 9 ножей, это 10 дубинок. Хотя тот стоил дороже явно. И ранга был повыше. Жуткие братья. Тихие пески Розария. И последний. Древний разрушитель. 60-й. С-ранга тоже. Непонятно где искать. В Самбреке легенда о жутком драконе. Я успел выжить половину мира. Так. Все. Есть еще кто-нибудь зеленый. Не знаю, сходить по основному квесту, блин, это плохо может закончиться. Ну, если отправить куда-нибудь, и зону заблокируют.
One of your little excursions presages some inexplicable catastrophe. Not that you are to blame for the Dominion's fate. No one could have predicted the actions of the Crown Prince.
I'm sorry I couldn't save your home.
My countrymen are stronger than you think. A few toppled clock towers won't break their spirits. They'll be back on their feet in no time.
I hope so.
Look at us. Bluer than a pair of bog crabs. Tempting though it may be, sulking will not help us find a solution to this mess.
You believe there's one to be found?
I don't know. But I am certain we're more likely to find it if we first examine the facts. Beneath these darkened skies, fear and confusion reign over Valisthea. Oh, the lands around the fallen Mother Crystals had already begun to wilt for want of ether. But not like this. Crystals that filled wells and fueled furnaces. Now nothing but pretty shards of rock. And those that hang from the people's necks cast nary a glimmer of light to keep the dark at bay. It is only a matter of time before the common folk convince themselves that the end of days is upon us. Yet I fear a swift end is more than we can hope for. While most of the world thirsts for ether, the remainder drowns in it, spawning Akashic in droves. And amidst the hordes of mindless beasts, with magics as like to fail as function, even the strongest nation would falter. Rosaria and the Iron Kingdom teeter on the brink of collapse, while the tragedy in Twinside has all but paralyzed the Holy Empire. Dalmekia fares little better. Rumor has it the ministers fled the capital after the fall of Drake's Fang, leaving their beloved republic to crumble. Waloed, meanwhile, moves in earnest. The Einherjar has been sighted off storm. The world, in short, is in chaos. It would seem our civilization was nothing but a castle of sand, to be washed away at the whim of the waves.
A castle of sand.
Not my best flourish, but it seemed fitting. The reports I've received are considerably more blunt in their appraisal. Without the protection of their nations, it will fall to the people to defend themselves against those who would take what is theirs.
Which is only ever going to end one way.
Defending a farmhouse against a band of chocobo thieves is one thing, but pitchforks and palisades will do little to stall an army's advance. Should the King of Wulu deign to invade, there would be none to stop him.
None but us.
Так, ладно, погнали по сайд-квестам. Ой. Опять заблочено.
There's talk of these skies driving men mad. Most of the hideaways.
Придется поговорить с дедом.
Here's a storm.
Let me guess. You're here about the skies.
Is there anything you don't know, Lawsman?
It doesn't take a court astrologer to augur the obvious. As for what has disturbed the heavens, that, I believe, is a question the Fallen might be better placed to answer than I. And on the 6th day did the gods tear the sun from the firmament, visiting darkness upon their prideful sons and daughters. But I dare say you remember your childhood lessons on the sins of Zemeckis only too well.
You think they're connected? That Ultima was one of the gods responsible?
Well, he has certainly exhibited powers that we mortals would associate with the divine.
There is nothing divine about him.
But he wouldn't be the first god of whom that could be said, now would he? Yet for all the fairy tales that tell of the sins, there is almost nothing in the way of actual historical accounts. Had I the Journal of Moss the Chronicler, I may have been able to tell you more, but alas, I fear all remaining copies have been lost to time. You will forgive me, I hope?
Certainly not. Because there is nothing to forgive. Even without this journal, you've provided us ample wisdom. And we will always be grateful for it. Perhaps Otto will be more inclined to share his thoughts when he hears what the others had to say.
Игра как будто типа к концу подводит, но, блин, мы знаем, JRPG нас не обманешь, тут до конца еще полгода. Знаю я, эта игра коротко за час пройдем.
Clive, we have a problem.
Only one. That would be a first.
It would. Actually, there are 3. We had as many owls arrive while you were at the shelves. Martha's got a Akashic out her gates, and talk of monsters roaming the hills outside of Northreach has put the wind up Isabel and her lot.
And don't forget Dalamil. Lubor says the village was raided by bandits.
When it rains...
It fucking pours. The curse breakers are spread thin, taking stock of the damage in the Dominion. And even if I could get word to all of them, I doubt they'd get here in time to make any real difference. Which means there's only 2 people who can.
Jill and I.
Let them know we're on our way.
Зато теперь карту открыли.
Fancy a look at the list, do you? Anything catch your eye? Think you can help?
Такс. Там почему у меня тут горит задание? Типа мугло. Пойду-ка я убью короля. Бомб. И скрин-то оставил. Так. Царь-бомба. Котел Сэмбрек. Вот идем, котел Сэмбрек. Сэмбрек. Где примерно где мы кристаллы были. Буклад. Щелелетний. Восточная Дальмикия. Может, Сэмбрек это где кубка был? Уже Дальмикия. Розария. Вот хрен найдешь, куда идти. Сэмбрек. А, вот южный Сэмбрек. Лоствинг. Блин, а где тут котел? Ладно, перенесемся в Сэмбрек, там разберемся, что куда. Гнездо дракона. Кстати, дракона надо убить там какого-то. Может, он там? Не подписан какой Сэмбрек. Так, во время погони за имперцами из сокрушителей проклятия вернули туда, оказались в лесу, где набрели на обломки воздушного судна павших. Там устроили себе логово существа, похожее на огромный огненный шар. Котел Сэмбрек. Котел. Гнездо дракона. Мур. Что-то я как-то котла не вижу. Я, кстати, не везде был, получается. А, это еще, типа, если приблизить, появляются более мелкие зоны. Так. Безымянная часовня. Мыс. На берег вот сюда надо сходить будет. Неизвестно, чего там. Может, есть котел. Батарейщика. Норвинд. Да, видимо, какая-то закрытая зона, может быть, здесь. Тут тоже, типа, непонятно чего. Но так котла как-то особо не видно. Ладно, сначала по сюжету, а потом разберемся, что куда. Все равно куда-нибудь отправят бежать. Эх, простой целеуказатель решил бы все наши проблемы.
I can't do it.
My lord, milady.
We received the dame's message. There have been sightings of strange creatures, I understand.
With the blue eyes. Yes. Like a Kashik, but different. They've taken so many. I've lost count.
Akashic, but different.
Ultimus thralls. And what of your mistress? Is she here?
Oh, no. She went to the garrison to ask what they were planning on doing about all this.
Then we'll look for her there.
Так, за что стоит бороться? Ну, судя по заданию, за бордель. Жизненно важная структура. Столб цивилизации. Местного разлива.
We could leave. The two soldiers.
Ой, это ж те самые, кому по башке надавали, нет?
We've tried requesting reinforcements, but there's been no word from the capital or the Dominion in days. What more would you have us do?
I would have you do your duty. Those at the Vale look to me for protection. And protect them I shall. because they are my charges and that is my duty. In case you have forgotten, the people of this town are your charges. But more than that, they are your people. Your sisters, your brothers, your lovers. So you have a choice. Lay down your sword and watch as they are slaughtered, or take it up and do what is right.
She speaks the truth, you know. This here, it's all we have. It's all that's left.
What we have left is our lives. Do you really want us to lose them as well?
Not if we don't have to. Look, there's a cask under the captain's bunk. Let's talk about this over a drink, eh?
I'm listening.
I'll have a word with him.
Ah, Clive. I didn't expect help to arrive so quickly. And sought to take matters into my own hands.
It was a noble effort, but I thought you might still need some support.
How like you to consider my needs. What we need to consider is where the creatures came from. The way the survivors speak of them, one would think they appeared out of thin air. And perhaps they did. It's hard to know what to believe these days.
We'll talk to the survivors.
Мы поговорим с выжившими. Типичная национальная гвардия. Только умеет крестьян бить безоружных. Когда дело доходит, первый разбегается.
I ran for my life. I never did get to the village.
Leave that to us.
My family. They're still in.
It's all right. Did you see the creatures that attacked you?
Creatures? Yeah, They came out of nowhere. They went for Joseph first, then me, and then they were just gone.
Do you remember where you were?
On the road from Oriflamme. We just passed Moor when... Where's my Joseph?
It's all right. Just rest now. At least we have an idea of where the thralls might be now. We should head for Moor.
Тянка-то здесь. Телепорта никакого. Тут нужно пройти. Где же может быть котел? Зона-то довольно-таки большая, блин, заколебающая искать. И все пытаться обижать. Почему некоторые задания типа заблокированы? Передайте звездный рубин Марти. Передайте звездный рубин Изабелле. Ну, видимо, пока тот квест красный не сделаешь, это тоже не задать. Раб-дух. И атаковать-то как? Я понял. Там, когда крылья вырастают, надо было кнопку атаки держать. Там же было написано. Ну, не самая динамичная способность, однако. Сколько максимальный уровень? Четвертый уровень максимальный. Стоило ли оно того? Это какая-то днищевая атака, если честно. Можно было бы комбинировать, типа, одну способность у кубки взять, одну способность у еще кого-нибудь там. Выглядит она не стильно, но сводится к тому, что я вот так сижу с зажатой кнопкой и время от времени уклоняюсь. Ой. Она еще могут обосраться, если по тебе попадут. Не, я уберу его, не нравится он. У ветра хотя бы способность там притягиваться была и прочее. Всю динамику боя ломает это так. Ничего другого там особо нет.
Do you think there are more?
There are always more. But I'd say we've done what we can for the time being.
Так я пока заряжаю, я ничего делать не могу, кроме как давить на кнопку. Да и заряжаться он довольно-таки долго.
You have the town's thanks.
Don't thank us yet. There will be more. Many more. And you'll need to be ready for them.
Oh, we shall. Isn't that right, Captain?
Yes, milady. The garrison will be ready.
Philippe here has convinced most of the men to remain at their posts. For now, at least.
Hearing that the Dane would look kindly on any man who committed himself to the task certainly didn't hurt. It's not the most selfless of motives, I'll admit. But whatever it takes, eh? Now me, I never needed convincing. I became a soldier to protect the people I love. And the people I love include the ones standing before me.
Handsome and chivalrous.
Now, if you don't mind, I have sentries to post. Milady.
Lest you wonder, I'm not foolish enough to believe that this has solved all of my problems. But it has solved one, and that's one fewer than I had this morning. Thank you again, Clive.
Готово.
Philippe will make a good captain. He reminds me a little of you, Clive.
Почему я Изабелле Рубин отдать не могу?
Philippe will make a good captain.
Жалко, жалко. Ладно, потом как-нибудь. Так, пойдемте искать этот самый, блин, котел-то дурацкий. Где он? Сюда, наверное, сбегать надо. Даже еще. Там еще в угол загляну. Царь бомба это как квест какой-то. Хотя, может, у меня просто неактивно выбран. Поэтому я сдать его не могу. Вот ты. Но все равно заблокирован. Только к 3 квестам можно отдать приоритет. Они будут отображаться у вас в меню. Видимо, это не влияет. Ну ладно, как-нибудь потом вернусь. Хотя он типа квест загорелся. Игра и так была типа пасмурная, а теперь еще и небо темное, так вообще, блин. Это надо цветная каша везде.
Those things.
Первый раз, кстати, такой вижу, чтобы задание сдать нельзя было. Видимо, пока не сделаешь эти задания, где Марта замешана, получается, прах старого мира, они будут заблокированы.
Good girl.
Так, сюда. И, кстати, какого-то дракона надо убить с ранга, а тут есть зона, типа лощина дракона или типа того. Так, это не то. Если бы это был важный враг, я бы с курицы слез. Вообще жук.
Enough of you, are there?
Просто тупик. Адвент. Так, ну тогда вот сюда. Море Брум. Гнездо дракона. Надо бы тоже сходить. Иствоч, священная длань. Ну, кстати, пауков тоже прокачали, у них уровень что-то поменьше был. Видимо, во всем мире враги стали сильнее, чтобы игрок не расслаблялся. И странно довольно-таки, почему я шел по этой дороге, но до конца не дошел. То, видимо, какая-то катсцена началась. Ведет в тупик вроде. Там явно кто-то должен быть. Не сейчас, так потом.
Be safe.
Неужто дракона нашел? Черт. Я хотел наконец оставить, когда подкачаюсь. Это не то. СВАРОГ, ранга С. Старый пердун. 50 уровень, я 37-го. Не нравится мне это. Ладно, в этот раз я хотя бы не один. Блин, у меня этот эфрит дурацкий, как его снять? Есть возможность. О. А, так я могу любые вставлять, получается. Здесь изменить способность в ходе боя. А икону можно поменять в ходе боя? Ну даже как я встрял неудачно. Упс. Я в домике, не трогай меня. А, у него еще радиус действия есть у этой вспышки. Ладно. 100 мегафлопс. Так, 100 раз нанесите урон мега-вспышкой 2-го урона или выше. Это явно прикол по терафлопсу. Это как бы жизнь кончается, а у него еще жизни много. Хотя у меня мега-эликсир, конечно, есть. Вообще, наверное, если бы врагов было много, вот эта атака с вышка была бы полезна. Просто когда один враг, очень удобно. Все, у меня лечилки кончились. За исключением эликсира. Грозная цель убита. Блин, ну я не его искал. Я хотел царь-бомбу найти. А чего мне денег так мало? Я же ничего не тратил. Рехалк. Были времена, когда рехалк использовали во всем. От брони и оружия до монет и столовых приборов. Как только единственная жила на близнецах иссякла, цена на этот благородный металл увеличилась в десятки раз. Люди предпочли припрятать весь орехалк, что у них был, и теперь найти его сложнее, чем адамант. Можно продать, можно продать. Так, ну, главная проблема-то остается, где царь-бомба. Придется гуглить, наверное. Я не знаю, где его искать. Так, царь-бомба. Не знаю. Тут, может быть, на карте есть несколько мест. Портрич. Гнездо дракона. Но это все на карте же здесь. Кстати, что это за значок? Кристалл, что ли? Лоствинг. Не, это все в этой же зоне. Котел. Блин, я не знаю, как по-английски котел. Так, котел. Иствотча. В упор не вижу здесь котла. Старая дорога. Может, на подсказке что есть? Так, дракон, кстати, убили уже. Древний разрушитель. В Сэмбреке ходит легенда о жутком драконе, что успел выжить чуть ли не полмира, пока сама Грегор не изгнала его за преграду из волшебного тумана. Спустя годы грань между правдой и выдумкой в этом сказании стерлась, а вот недавние сообщения о крупном драконе, который оглашает своим ревом леса на окраинах империи, вымыслом не кажутся. Так. Тихие пески Розария. Помары Дальмикия. Так, во время погони за имперцами одна из сокрушителей проклятия свернула не туда и оказалась в лесу, где набрела на обломки воздушного судна павших. Наверное, это и есть подсказка, блин. Свернула с дороги. Может, типа тут? Проще загуглить, блин. Угадывать там. Да, Final Fantasy 16. King Bomb. Как найти King Bomb? О, ничего искать не надо.
Hey everybody, today we're going to show you how to find the Bomb King from the hunt board here in Final Fantasy 16. So without further ado, let's jump into it. Now to find this enemy, you'll need to start the side quest called Weird. To find the king, you just need to head far north.
Со вчерашнего дня тебя не было.
East of the hideaway, all the way up here to where you'll find the Dragon's Eyrie. And if you fast travel here, you need to work your way south through the Eyrie, and you'll have a little spot where you can work your way through the woods, go all the way down to the end, and you'll have a little path that leads up to a structure where you're going to find the Bomb King.
Понятненько. Так. Вот сюда. А, ну вот, у меня просто закрыто здесь получается. Хорошо спрятался, однако. Дача, как говорится, это святое, что поделать. Кушать-то всем хочется. Так, вниз. Какие здоровые, однако. Незаметные врата. Она свернула в лес. Да, описание соответствует. А вон и котел сразу появился. Не заглянул в раскрытые врата чуть-чуть.
Back to the stables, girl.
Я просто подумал, вдруг тут какая-то плита есть. На карте отмечена была. Ну, ладненько. Лежит какой-то странный шарик. Моих кошмаров. Царь бомбы. Ой, блин, опять забыл поменять у Бахама-то, ладно. Это вам не дракон. Теперь я его выше уровня, почти на 10. О, всю мелочевку убила. Ладно, не такая, что она бесполезна, когда врагов много. Грозная цель убита.
Your reign It's over. Now to collect the ash. This looks like the stuff. Let's see if there's any more. That should do it.
Так, отнесите пепель в убежище. Так, тут все. Двигаем дальше. Там я не могу сдать. Нести ему, вдруг там что новое появилось.
Did you see that?
А у тебя есть что новое? Только те, которые остались.
All this fuss over a few dog. All right there, Sid? How's that hunt for the bomb ash going?
I have it here.
That's the stuff. And plenty of it, too. Enough to keep the Olympic bubbling away for a good old while. You're a gent, Sid. Let nothing say otherwise. Right then. Let's get this contraption up and running.
Я же говорил, самогодный аппарат.
Have it. The Telemon Alembic. And it works just like the chief said it would.
Very impressive.
Says the man who cut down a burning boulder. Speaking of which, I still haven't returned the favor.
There's no need. The good it will do for the hideaway is reward enough.
Don't be silly. Why don't you let me take a look at that bag of yours? The one you keep your potions in. Reckon I could work some magic on that.
What kind of magic?
Well, we happen to have isolated a substance in our test run of the Alembic that I reckon will make even the toughest leather supple as anything. Thought we might use it to breathe new life into old boots and the like. Save the hideaway a few gil. But I reckon if we slap a bit on your bag, it'll loosen it up enough for you to squeeze in a bottle or two more.
Well, it can't hurt to try, I suppose.
That's the spirit. Leave it with me. I'll only be a mo. Well, what do you reckon?
It certainly feels more flexible.
Right? Told you.
Thank you. I think.
No. Thank you for supporting Mid and the rest of us in our endeavors. Without you, we'd never have been able to discover wonders like that stuff I rubbed on your bag. And I'm telling you, there's plenty more where that came from.
Выполнил. Чудеса науки. Ваша сумка стала на 1 единицу больше. Место по снаряжению расширено. Так, вы получили обработанную сумку для зелья, значит сможете больше носить в ней. Сильное зелье. Ну все, короче, +1. 30% добавить. Теперь сюда давай. Западной Дальмики. Какой там Дальмики надо было убить? Там походу разберемся.
Sid. Your new companion appears much more formidable than your uncle.
Дядя оскорбился.
You haven't been introduced.
Jill, Clive has told me much about you.
All lies, I'm sure.
Your Stolas said that Dalamil has a bandit problem.
Indeed. Although, you're a little late. They left with our food and guild days ago.
Any idea where they went?
The desert's a big place. Your guess is as good as mine. But the fact is, I have more immediate concerns.
What did you say to me? What did you say?
Ah, as if by magic. Let's just say we've yet to reach a consensus about how to solve Dalamil's little problem. And at this rate, it won't be the actions of the bandits which prove to be our undoing. It will be our own. Now, I've tried reasoning with the dissenting parties, but even the Desert Hare has limits.
Perhaps we could talk to them.
What makes you think they'll listen to us?
What makes you think they won't?
She makes a fair point, Sid. And you won't have wasted much of your precious time if you fail. They're just across the courtyard.
Suppose we just follow the shouting.
Ну, пойдем разберемся.
You wouldn't talk like that if it had been your men whose throats were slit. Blood for blood, it's the only way. We hire mercenaries and have them mount the bandits' heads on our walls as a lesson to the rest.
And what happens when those mercenaries are slaughtered like your men? Are you going to hire more? We're better off using that coin to buy food and supplies. If we hire mercenaries, the only thing we're buying is the bandits' ire. And you cannot fill empty bellies with that. Do you hear me?
But what happens when they come back? Maybe it'll be your throat that's slit.
That's enough. Both of you. Any more of this and I'll throw you out myself. Come back when you're ready to talk like adults.
Victor. What's he doing here?
Sid. And Lady Jill. What brings you here?
I was about to ask you the same thing.
Costness is in chaos, and the markets have all but ceased to operate. The Briar's Kiss here in Dalamil is the only place I can reliably obtain supplies. I was here to do just that when Master Lubor told me of his troubles. He thought I might be able to talk some sense into these fools. But if you're here, I suppose his patience must be waning.
Who are those people?
Those were the thorns in Lubor's side. And the reason this place might be headed the same way as Costness. It's these accursed skies. The darkness is enough to drive a man to madness. Or an entire city, for that matter.
We're still working on the skies. But in the meantime, perhaps we can find a solution to Dalamil's problems.
I hope so. For all our sakes.
Так, поговорите с Любором.
So, you see my predicament?
What I saw was a room full of people who were angry and afraid. And with good reason by the sound of it. But if left to smolder, that anger and fear could set the entire town alight.
My thoughts exactly. What to do? Both sides wish to protect their homes and livelihoods, if only they could agree on how. But as long as they are divided, we are vulnerable.
And if there's one thing bandits like, it's an easy target.
What would Sid the Outlaw suggest?
Well, If it were my namesake, he'd let them choose for themselves and be on hand to pick up the pieces when it all went wrong.
That sounds like a recipe for disaster.
A recipe for disaster is precisely what it is. But perhaps that realization would be enough to make them question the ingredients. While it's plain neither Conrad nor Natalie will countenance the other's proposal, it may still be possible to make them doubt their own before presenting them with a third option.
And that would be?
To pool our resources and save the city ourselves. Why fight each other
when all that fear and anger can be directed at the bandits?
It appears we have a plan of action. Victor, pay Conrad a visit. See if you can't convince him of his folly. I'll speak with Natalie.
As you wish.
Your faces are not well known in this town. That may prove useful. Don't worry, Victor and I will do most of the talking. You need only play along.
Play along?
What he means to say is yes.
Будем играть плохого, доброго полицейского.
Here she is. The Lady of the Spear herself. Conrad, may I introduce you to Jane, commander of the Red Wings, the oldest mercenary guild in the Free Cities.
A pleasure, my lady.
The pleasure is all mine.
As I told you, I summoned the commander here from Canver to inquire about a contract.
Victor says you told him no. That there aren't any men left to hire. Is that true?
True as the crystals cracked. Nobles came and claimed every last one worth his salt. And not just from us Red Wings. You know of the 7 high houses. There must be 200 swords assigned each one. Granted, we have a few boys left. If it's boys you're looking for.
Well, Conrad, are you saying that Dalamel's finest cannot defend this town better than a gaggle of unblooded striplings? That a band of beardless youths could better avenge the deaths of your brave men than you yourselves?
Absolutely not. We'll show those bastards who they're dealing with.
I can't believe that actually worked.
Conrad's not what you called the brightest candle in the crypt. And there's a reason why I had you do the talking and not Sid. Well played, my lady.
Все прошло гладко. Но пройдет ли вторая встреча так же? В итоге все равно мне придется бандитов убивать, очевидно же.
If I had my pickaxe, I would... I mean, it may still be possible to buy some. Ah, here he is now. Natalie, allow me to introduce Lord Underhill of Randalar's prestigious League of Merchants.
Lord Underhill. At your service.
Underhill?
I was just telling the good lady of our conversation, my lord, and how you were lamenting the state of the capital's stores.
Lubor says that not only are the granaries almost empty, but that war and the blight mean this season's harvest won't be enough to fill them for winter.
Indeed, certainly that is the case. The nobles in the capital are buying up the city's stocks of barley and wine, driving the prices higher than most commoners can afford. It is only a matter of time before the peasants revolt.
It is worse.
Ну да, поэтому она переспросила.
If what Lord Underhill says is true, I fear we have little hope of supplementing our stores, meager though they regrettably are.
Может, это какое-то косвенное значение, типа под прикрытием или типа того. За холмом. Лорд за холмом.
I sense Conrad is not wrong in his assessment of the bandits' likely return, which means that now, more than ever, we will need to secure what little we still have. Food, weapons, herbs, everything. If our humble town is to endure not only this hardship, but those that are certain to follow, we must stand united.
All right. If it will help to protect my home, I'll do it. But you needn't have gone through this charade.
Черт, нас раскрыли.
Thank you, Clive. Your performance was nothing if not workmanlike. She saw right through it. I didn't say it was good, merely that it produced the desired effect. Now, my scouts should be returning shortly. Meet me back at the Briar's Kiss, and we shall see what we face.
I'm not convinced our roles in this ruse were entirely necessary.
I don't know. Conrad seemed quite taken with you.
Смысл в том, чтобы они объединились друг с другом. Если бы мы бы их сразу перебили, это ничем бы не отличалось от наемников.
Good news, Sid. Both Conrad and Natalie have somewhat gracefully accepted their new roles. With time, they may even learn to.
Time no longer appears to be the luxury it was before lunch.
I take it your scouts found the bandits.
Technically, it would be the bandits who found my scouts. It appears they march for Dalimil as we speak. All of them.
You're not serious.
They don't just want food, they want the whole damn town.
I have a favor to ask. I'm told the bandits march in two groups, one from the south and one from the desert, in a move doubtless intended to stretch our already gossamer-thin defenses.
Very well. Jill and I will meet those from the desert. But what of the rest?
The rest, my friend, the city shall fight. Together. The stakes, I concede, are high. But if this does not unite Dalimil, nothing will.
That is a lot of faith to put into those who had their hands around each other's throats but a moment ago.
Then it will be for us to see that their hands are kept occupied. And I do mean us.
I thought you might say that.
We'll hold them off for as long as we can.
And we will do the same.
У бандитов нету шансов. Так. Не будем лохануться в третий раз. Так, не то. Выпустите пламенный поток света, непрерывно наносящий урон. Импульс, кстати, ничего. Спутник. Призовите несколько фамильяров света, которые будут наносить удары. Я даже из города выйти не успел. Подождите, ребят, сейчас накопится, и вы ощутите всю силу Бахамута и все такое. Ну, техническая заминка, понимаете ли. Блин, это основная способность, ее даже убрать нельзя. Да ладно, не так уже долго. Султан. Не слабо так. Назад, наверное, вернул, блин, эту. Гарудо. А, типа, если я уворачиваюсь, у меня это быстрее растет?
The townspeople. Could they have held out?
I don't hear any fighting. What do you think?
That we should hurry.
Там уже никого спасать. Учитывая, какая это игра. Да замечал, но как-то не особо. Вроде не сильно растет. Да все равно как-то она весь бой ломает. Хотя, с другой стороны, палец отдыхает. Проблема в том, что она отнимает на самом деле не так много. Одному врагу. А если толпа, ну, они и так в основном дохнут. То, что под случайные удары попадают.
Without you, there would have been no line to hold. You saved us, Conrad. You saved Dalamil.
We all saved Dalamil.
Conrad seems to have had a change of heart.
I'd say they both have.
I take it from your presence that our visitors from the desert won't be joining us either. Pity.
The plan worked, Sid. Granted, it only took an army of bloodthirsty bandits at our gate.
Calm now, Victor. Why quibble over the details? We are united, and that is all that matters. As for you, Sid, you fight considerably better than you act.
I'll take that as a compliment.
Вниз по кроличьей норе выполнено. О.
People take notice of wealthy men. Shouldn't be too hard to track down Karen's collector.
Lubo did well to bring Conrad and Natalie together. It's like herding curls with him.
Так, пункт назначения поблизости.
My reputation will be ruined. Ruined!
Calm yourself, Lord Ignac, I beg of you, before you do yourself a mischief.
Pardon the intrusion, but...
Out! Get out! I paid for these rooms so I wouldn't be disturbed. Leave me be!
Please, allow me to apologize. His lordship is going through a difficult time, and he's never been fond of guests arriving unannounced.
Radim! Get rid of the filthy oaf this instant!
Very good, Lord Ignac. Would you mind stepping outside for a moment?
Интроверт 80 уровня.
I'm sorry if I've caused you any trouble.
That? Oh, no. That's just how his lordship is. Though the morning's events have left him somewhat fractious. He has been dispossessed of his luggage, you see. The thieves also made away with a considerable amount of coin. Coin the innkeeper will soon be keen to collect.
I don't suppose a certain blade was among the stolen items. A single-edged sword. It was purchased from a merchant friend of mine.
Ah, you know Lady Karen. Yes, I'm afraid it was.
Then I'll retrieve Lord Ignac's luggage. But I have one condition.
You have but to state it. You are welcome to anything that is within my power to grant.
I want an audience with Lord Ignac. A few minutes should be enough. Then I'll be on my way.
A condition I would be a fool to refuse. Of course, you shall have your audience.
I don't suppose you saw where the thieves went.
I did not, no. Though some discreet inquiries made on his lordship's behalf mean that I know where you might find them. The bandit's bed. Every ill-gotten coin in Dalimil is said to pass through that disreputable corner of the Valcroy.
And that's where I'm heading.
I shall speak to Lord Ignac in your absence, and arrange for an audience upon your triumphant return.
That will be very kind of you.
Farewell, and best of luck.
Куда это нам? Ладно, отсюда все равно ближе. Так, еще в пустыне Велкра у нас был там охота. Так, Вамаре, Дальмекия, Вамаре. Вамаре. Хрен же что найдешь, как обычно. Может, и не Далмекия? Нет, Далмекия. Ладно, добегу до тут, там разберемся, что куда.
Let's go. Faster.
Я вижу, но до них пилить все равно далеко. Даже в пустыне стало темно. Кстати, мне зелень никаких не надо купить. Летать умеет. Как настоящий курица. Это еще кто? Керл Алкаш. Ладно, фиг с ним. Не, ну у меня есть зелья тоненькие, просто они, видимо, в инвентаре. Надо сюда поставить, чтобы они были. У меня там все равно эликсир есть, по идее. Я же не пользовался этим. Трактирщик. Вон, все, кто в округе лежали, уже мертвы. Бахамов не понадобился.
This must be Ignac's luggage. Nothing seems to be.
Просто это, возможно, другая Дальмекия. Уже есть северо-западная, есть, я не знаю, восточно-южная. Просто не здесь.
I hear I have you to thank for the return of my effects. What shall I call you, my good man?
Wyvern. Glad to make your acquaintance.
A formidable name indeed. Well, Wyvern, I appear to be in your debt. Redeem here tells me you wished for an audience. Is that all?
A few moments of your time should suffice, yes.
You're a peculiar fellow, Wyvern. All right, speak.
Master Wyvern was wondering if you could tell him about a certain single-edged sword you recently acquired.
Oh, a true work of art, that one. Karen drove me hard on the price, but I would have sold her Radim here to get my hands on that sword. It was made in the Outer Isles, far beyond the Twins, and is used exclusively by the practitioners of a unique school of swordsmanship. They believe no combat should ever exceed a single strike and hone their blades to such perfection.
Типа намек на Японию.
Each sword is made for that one perfect stroke, and for that stroke only. They crack upon a second blow. There's a brutal sort of beauty to it, really.
But how do they hone such an edge?
Fine question. Why, they use a whetstone, of course. Whetstones, rather. A whole array of them, ranging from the coarse to the fine. 10,000 licks with the sharpening stone, then 10,000 more. But it is the final stone which lends the blade its legendary sharpness. A mineral quite foreign to this great realm of ours. And that is the key. The secret ingredient.
Кубик Галина Бланка.
Wyvern, it occurs to me that my little lecture is hardly equal to services rendered. Take this, together with my regards. The very stone of which I spoke, far rarer among collectors than even the blade itself, and a far more fitting payment.
Thank you.
Что значит 20,5 часов доступно? Я не знаю.
However, it is long past time we prepared ourselves to depart.
So it is. I am locked in bitter competition with a rival collector of curiosities. I am one step ahead of the unscrupulous scoundrel, but he is hard at my heels.
Are there many other collectors out there?
Too many to count, but only one do I consider mine.
Да это доступно. Сколько места на винте, если записывать? Это программа захват. От карты захват.
Radim, we mustn't dawdle.
I think his lordship is rather taken with you, Master Wyvern. Thank you again for your assistance. Coming, my lordship. I'll be right there.
Trust Uncle Byron to find such an interesting rival. Now, let's see what Blackthorn makes of this whetstone, shall we?
Так, как там назывался этот чувак, которого надо было найти? 10 бандитов. 10 дубинок. 10 clubs. А что, видео нет? Он был настолько недостоин, что... Ага. Кузнец подождет. Ну, дубинки найти. Так, на карте. Республика Далмекия. Так, Дравозд. Дравозд. Я нашел. Так, вот оно здесь. В Амаре. Маленькое, конечно, слово.
Good girl.
Выведем кузнеца из депрессии, ты хотел сказать.
No mistakes.
С этими керлами всегда такая ботва. Не атакуют тебя, зато под конец скидывает. М, 10 дубинок. Девять ножей, 10 дубинок. Следующий будет 11 кинжалов. Или мечей. Какой у него там уровень? Может, я зря без лечилок-то пошел на него. 35, ладно. Я не знаю. Этих депрессивных трудно понять. Я просто думал, он умер. Грозная цель убита. Еще славы у меня.
A deserter turned outlaw. We were more similar than he knew.
Вот теперь можно кузнецов. Вообще еще задание Торгала есть. Ладно, разберемся с привалом Марты. Все равно там назад будет возвращаться. Да и антилопа где-то здесь.